puts Nigerian football on the limelight, and we are wishing the family once again all the best in this difficult period of their lives. And well, of course, you know about the transfer window deadline for the top five leagues of Europe. Yes, it came to an end at midnight, and for the top leagues of Europe, they can only sign players who are on a free transfer. That's those players who, of course, free agents at this point in time. All right, yesterday, Atletico Madrid welcome back Griezmann from Barcelona. Well, Chelsea signed Saul Niguez on loan from Atletico Madrid. And of course, Kylian Mbappe, well, he's set to stay at PSG despite Real Madrid being willing to pay £189 million. And then for the Nigerian Football Federation, well, the NFF and the Super Eagles, they are set to review their World Cup bonus this Thursday. And we can also tell you that the Tigers have drawn Uganda, Mali, Cape Verde in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, as well as the US Open results and, of course, fixtures. Yes, the US Open started a few days ago. We'll continue to update you on happenings as it concerns that very one. All right, so these are many more sports stories you shall get from us on the show, only if you stick to Sports Fiesta. I am CJ, the maestro, and of course, Ali Ibrahim, the sports Ibrahim here with me this morning to be part of another edition of Sports Fiesta. All right, so let's start off the show, but then let's start off on a sad note, because we understand that former Green Eagles star, talking about Thompson Osiehe, is dead. He died yesterday morning in California from colon cancer. What a loss.
Yeah, one of, well, when you listen to those who know the sports more than us, they will tell you Thompson Osiehe in his day was one of the most prolific strikers that Nigeria has ever produced. Hopefully, during the course of the show, we will be reaching out to somebody who knows all about Thompson Osiehe. We're talking about Nigeria's one and only football aficionado, Barrister Godwin Dudu Orume, who is the chairman of the Edo State Sports Commission. Hopefully, he will be getting through to him, and he will be telling us more about Thompson Osiehe. We heard that he died at the age of 65. Didn't play many times for Nigeria. I'm guessing that Abdul will tell us more about that concerning his international career. Spent most of his life in the United States of America. So we are sad that this is happening, especially at a time when Nigeria will be playing. The Super Eagles, as they are known now, will be playing on Friday against Liberia. We pray that God reposes his soul, and we pray that God gives his family the fortitude to bear this loss. We learned that it was a member of the family that released the statement which said that Thompson Osiehe unfortunately died in the early hours of yesterday. So we pray that God reposes his soul. One of those who puts Nigerian football on the world map very early on. I think he played for Nigeria between 1976 and 1981, if I recall correctly. But hopefully Dudu Orume will be giving us all the details of Thompson Osiehe's career. So we are really sad that we are losing somebody. Maybe after the break, after we take our first break, we'll try to establish contact with Dudu Orume so that we can talk about the great Thompson Osiehe.
All right, so let's move on the show to other matters now. Let's talk about the camp of the Super Eagles. Well, the Nigerian Football Federation President, Amaju Melvin Pinnick, he has come out to say the Federation and the senior players in the Super Eagles will hold a meeting tomorrow to review their World Cup bonuses. Well, he also disclosed plans to ensure each player of the national team. Well, Pinnick said this while addressing the players yesterday after lunch at the Eco Hotels and Suites Lagos. Well, the NFF is yet to offset the outstanding bonuses and allowances of the coaches and the players of the Eagles, as well as salaries owed the coaches of the team, and have blamed it on the global coronavirus pandemic. Well, according to Amaju Melvin Pinnick, let's quote what he said during the course of that meeting with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But he said, "I like the spirit in camp, and this is the spirit to qualify for the World Cup. We now have an official plane to fly the team to and fro. That's from away games. It's one of the newest planes in the world. We are working very hard to ensure that the players playing in the EPL travel with us to Cape Verde. I had to leave Los Angeles for London. I was part of a delegation that met some people in London to see the decision overturned, but we are also looking at the worst case scenario. Everybody here in the team is important. There are some players who are national team players, while some are just good playing for their clubs. For instance, Wilfred Ndidi is both national team and club player. Ogene Karitowo is the same as well, but he plays 60% for the Eagles and 40% at club level. But I want him to make it 50-50. And Pinnick also, he said, we'll be sitting down with the leaders of the team to discuss the World Cup bonus. You must qualify for the World Cup. You win on Friday and you get your bonus. Let's first talk about this before we look at other things that was discussed yesterday during the course of that meeting. Of course, the NFF are gearing up for the Super Eagles. Well, we have to qualify for the World Cup. Our first 2 points of contact has to be against Liberia and, of course, against Cape Verde. And we can, say the way it is that for Nigeria, the NFF are still owing the Super Eagles match bonuses, and, of course, that includes also the backroom staff of the team. But then the NFF president yesterday held a meeting with the players where he said that the senior players in the Super Eagles will have a meeting with the hierarchies of the NFF to review their World Cup bonuses.
We knew about this meeting. We've known about it for some time now. We said 4 of them, which will include Leon Balogun, whom the Eagles have even appointed as their spokesperson, would be having that meeting with the Nigeria Football Federation. So we'll see what comes out of the meeting. The NFF president didn't lie when he talked about COVID affecting them. Remember that even to sports journalists, they promised this largesse from FIFA, and we in Edo have not even received ours as we speak. So we understand some of the things they're talking about concerning allowances to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But as I said yesterday, if they have the money and they are not paying the players, then there is a serious issue. But if it's a situation of the money is not even available to the Nigeria Football Federation, then the Super Eagles should understand this and play for pride, play for their country. As I said, I don't think that any player of the Super Eagles will come and not give 100% because it's being owed. If that was the intention, maybe the player will not even bother to honor the invitation. They will just say, look, so long as you've not paid me for my past services, then I am not going to board the plane. I'm not coming, But the fact that they've come, I want to believe that they will all give their best. It is their career that we are talking about. Amaju Pinnick is not going to be playing at the World Cup. So I expect that the Eagles will do their best. But having said all of this, it is wrong for us to be owing our players. We should find a way. There must be a system that will ensure that no matter what, these players get their bonuses. There is money. Then we know that people can derogatorily say Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world or whatever. But we know how rich Nigeria is. I mean, when you travel to some other African countries and you see there was this thing that trended, this video that trended on the social media a couple of years ago when Nigerians we attended one summit. I think it was in Kenya, and one of the Kenyan ministers, a woman, she was mocking and at the same time kind of in awe of Nigeria. He said private jets were just landing, that Nigeria was disturbing, was polluting the air with noise because of the private jets that were landing, that so many private jets. When the president's son got married recently, you know how many private jets they counted at the airport in Kano. So when people come and tell you Nigeria is a poor country, it's really not true. We know how wealthy the country is. So for whatever reason, whether there was pandemic, whether there was anything, we should not be owing our players. But as I said, when the NFF can provide evidence that, look, we've not even got this money, our sponsors or the government has not released the money, then the Super Eagles should just take things easy. But I think it is because of this culture of corruption that unfortunately Nigeria in the public service is known for, and people feel, okay, they must have collected the money and they are refusing to give us the money. We're hearing now states putting, keeping monies in the bank to yield interest and all of that. So these are the things that make some of these players get angry and they demand for their allowances immediately. But I hope it doesn't affect the performance. I hope that the meeting that they are going to have tomorrow is going to be
fruitful sort of.
Yeah, and they are going to resolve the issues amicably, and eventually we'll go there, beat Liberia, beat Cape Verde, and then qualify for the final round of the World Cup, and then move on to qualify for the World Cup proper. We should not, at this stage, Nigeria should not be failing to qualify for the World Cup or the African Cup of Nations.
All right. Well, during the course of yesterday's meeting with the Super Eagles, well, the president of the NFF, Amaju Pinnick, also revealed that talks are ongoing with an unnamed insurance company to insure the players of the teams. Now, he went on to say, we have an insurance deal we're working on, about 17 million naira per player. Once you are in the Eagles, you have insurance. We're not just looking at finance, but the value in kind that will enhance. You talk less and act more on the pitch. I am very proud of you guys. We fight, we argue, but importantly, we settle. And these were the words of the NFF President Amaju Melvin Pinnick. Well, Pinnick has said they are in talks with an insurance company to insure the players of the Super Eagles. So the moment you're a player of the Super Eagles, you're insured to the tune, or you're going to be insured to the tune of 17 million naira. We hope that this one does also cross the line, because it's going to be massive for the players. When you're playing, you now know that even if you get injured, that or even if something happens to you while playing for the national team, there is something in the offing for your family members. So this should be some level of motivation for the boys going forward. That's if this deal happens for the NFF.
Well, I'm aware that they had insurance for the players before. Maybe this is a new one that they want to do to that tune, which will be fantastic. I don't think insurance will be too much, and unfortunately, in this part of the world, we don't even think along that line. We don't really do much in that area when it comes to insurance. Everything that you have should be insured. Your property, your car, your house, whatever it is that you have, your life. In fact, it's good to insure it, but you will be dismayed if you at the statistics of how underinsured Nigerians are. So the Super Eagles, being the elite team of the country, the elite football team, it's very important that they get insured, because we know how brutal the sport of football can be. Yeah, you can have a career that's lengthy and you play like Paolo Maldini, you play until you are over 40. You can have a career like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But even these players, one time or the other in their careers, have been injured, so this is where sometimes the insurance comes in. But when you now get such an injury that your career is cut short, it's gone. Everything, it means everything is gone. All the monies that you are supposed to be receiving per week, we know how much Lionel Messi earns. If he breaks his leg to the point that he cannot continue his career, it means those monies are gone. So this is where insurance will come in, or maybe the money that he has invested. Almost every day, you hear stories of former sportsmen and women crying that they are destitute now. We're talking right now. There's a video trending of an athlete who represented Nigeria before in boxing at the Commonwealth Games, won gold medals and all. Now he's blind, and he says he has to beg to even eat. And this is it breaks your heart when you see things like that. We've heard of weightlifters who are now construction workers. There's absolutely nothing against construction workers, but there are some kind of jobs that you do not expect somebody who has represented Nigeria at international level to be engaged in, and you wonder what is going on. Was there no retirement plan? Can't you get these people into the system as coaches and everything? But the truth again is that the country cannot accommodate everybody. The country cannot, even the states cannot accommodate everybody. You know how many athletes Edo State has produced since Edo State was created in 1991. Let's even forget the old Bendel State. Since the state was created till now, how many athletes have retired, and how many can the State Sports Commission bring in and say, come and become coaches? There is very little. The percentage is very little. So you need something like a trust fund, where when you, after some time, if anyone falls on hard times, you can actually get some money from there to rehabilitate such a person. But we do not have that. That's the kind of culture that we are supposed to establish. But every time you hear people, oh, this athlete, look at what's happening. The government has abandoned him. The government. I understand that the government can do more, but the government cannot do everything.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's the truth of it.
Yes.
Here in Nigeria, it's not possible.
It's not possible anywhere in the world. It's not possible that the government will just take care of everybody. It's not. So you've got to establish a system that will cater to the needs of these people. Even in the private clubs in Europe, they have that. There is a fund. I keep giving the example of Gbenga Okunowo, who played for Barcelona. He played for Barcelona for some time, but you will not say Gbenga Okunowo is a legendary Barcelona player. Yeah. Many Nigerians didn't even know that Gbenga Okunowo, and even maybe Manuel Amunike, played for Barcelona. But there was one time when he lost his house, fire got in his house and everything. He got money from Barcelona. He had left Barcelona many years ago, but because of the system that they have there, it was able to help him
for that.
A bit. Yeah, so these are the kind of things that we want. We complained during the COVID, the restrictions and everything. You look at what's going on in other countries. You see, even Nigerians that were there, I saw videos of Nigerians who are living in some of these countries posting pictures and videos of what they got, even though they were not citizens of that country, but because they were resident in the country, they were getting packages, food, monthly, sometimes weekly, from the government to ease COVID-19 restrictions. But here you saw how the whole crisis was. People had to be going to warehouses to break them and everything. The few individuals who we shared palliatives here at KUFM. You need to see how this place was. And look, it's just horrible, and we need to do better because they almost broke our gates that time when we announced that we're giving to 100 persons, and it was basically those who called, and you were giving out. Sometimes some people will say, okay, I want to specifically give to widows, and this is the number, maybe 50, 40. But when you announce that and you ask people to come, more than 1,000 people will be at the gate. That's because it's just too. People are just there and they are destitute. So we really need those kind of systems, especially for people who have represented the country and they don't have any other thing that they are doing. The boxer was complaining that he's in his state when he came. They made him a coach, but later they said they have somebody that they brought from abroad and they used that person to replace him, and since then he has not had anything to do, and so he just this is why we always advise our young athletes, if as you are going into sports, please ensure that you also get yourself educated.
Absolutely,
you get yourself educated, because your career, your sporting career is not going to last forever. And when you are making the money, especially now when there is so much money in sports, especially football, I know how tempting it is. Your peers are getting flashy cars and everything, fine, you can, but ensure that you have more than enough, because tomorrow anything can happen. So that somebody that you know is really wealthy, after some years you hear that he has become bankrupt. Our former Super Eagles players, many of them have declared bankruptcy. So it is serious. There is this survey that was done in the United States of America, which indicated that after 5 years, 70% of basketballers, they earn much more than
even footballers.
Super Eagles players are earning. 70% of them go bankrupt within 5 years of retiring, when they no longer get the weekly wages that they were getting as basketballers. These are guys that are, you would call them billionaires in naira. If you convert the dollars that they are in, they will be billionaires because they are millionaires in dollars. But after 5 years, these guys declare bankruptcy. They don't have money anymore. They are indebted. So it makes you wonder how much money do you even have that you are buying all these flashy things, and after some time you have nothing, and then they start GoFundMe, and they are spreading their pictures on the social media, and it seems like they have been abandoned. But plan well when you have the money for the future.
All right, this is Sports Fiesta here on KU92.7 FM. Let's go for this break. When we come back, we'll, of course, once again talk about Thompson Usia. Well, he's late now, and, of course, we talked to one man who knows so much about him. And look at how he was able to influence Nigerian football, not just from within, but then from outside the shores of the country. After this break, there'll be so much more to talk about on Sports Fiesta. Stay right here.
Yes, dear.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food. I think it's about time we go solar.
How?
With Vertical Solar, we can have all our appliances and electronics powered by solar, and they allow us to pay small. We can pay installmentally with as low as 36,000 naira monthly, spread across 12 months.
Tell me more.
I know you like the idea of paying small. Vertical Solar range of products can power all household devices, including air conditioners and water pumps.
What are the benefits of solar power?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, no more spending on generator, and no more generator noise.
I see. But how can I locate Vertical Solar?
Head now to 28 Country Home Metal Road off Ajib Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City, or Blossom Mall beside Stop to Shop stores, DBS Road, Asaba. Or you can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use Kung Fu?
No dear, na hole for teeth they cause most tooth pains will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
The big leagues are back, and DSTV is the only place you can watch it all. Enjoy live matches weekly from the best leagues in the world. We're talking the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Champions League, not to mention the return of the Europa League. That's Salah, Kane, Haaland, Bruno, Lukaku, Suarez, Messi, and CR7.
Oh my goodness!
All week, every week.
You're just lost for words!
Nothing beats the unbeatable football on DSTV.
At split seconds, there is a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We would stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Better place. See you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
All right, this is Sports Fiesta here on K92.7 FM. Like we did promise you, we promised to bring you somebody who, of course, knows so much about Thompson Usinye. Well, we've got the person on the line.
Yeah, this is Barrister Godwin Dudu Orume, or Mr. Godwin Dudu Orume Esquire, as he says he should be addressed. Good morning, Barrister, Chairman, Edo State Sports Commission. Great to have you on Sports Fiesta.
Thank you very much, Salio.
Yes. Sadly, we just got the news that we lost somebody that has been described as Nigeria's most technical number 9. We're talking about the great Thompson Usinye. Now, not many Nigerians who follow football, especially the younger generation, know about him. Can you first react to his passing and then tell us a bit about Thompson Usinye?
Yeah, I heard the news and I called Francis Money Dafe, former Bendel Insurance and Green Bulls player, yesterday morning, and he confirmed to me that Thompson passed on after a difficult time with colon cancer, unfortunately, at the age of 65. Well, Thompson Usinye first showed up. He was a student at Horty College, Warwick, and you know Horty College was the mecca of school sports in those days, in the old Midwest and old Bendel. So Thompson made his debut at the 1973 National Sports Festival as a substitute striker, and he scored a goal. But his best time came in 1975 when he was first choice striker for the Midwest, the Bender State Intermediate team, alongside late Paul Omorigi, Obiawe, and some other Solomon Etoma, and some other brilliant players. Thompson went on to play for the Nigerian Academicals in the Ghana-Nigerian games, and then stepped up to Eagles in 1975-76. He was a member of the famous Daidawa team of Kule Awesu, Babatu Mohammed, Christian Chuku, Okala, Jueku. He was in a class of very big players, and to stand out as one of Nigeria's most prolific, in my opinion, arguably the best striker Nigeria has ever paraded. Because I don't have the stats, the exact statistics, but I can tell you that Thompson was a good match, and he was a real terror to any defense line. In fact, he was so good that at club level he could play central midfield. He actually started his club career at Nduru Island Football Club and at Selemo Diamonds. Then went on to Asamatex. But after a time where we got used to him scoring a goal per match or more, in the 1977-78 season, when Nigeria possibly would have gone to the World Cup for the first time, Thompson went to school in the U.S. and that put a big gap in the Super Eagles or Green Eagles as it were. He was a great player, big, very tall fellow, about 6'2", 6'3". He was quick in both feet, and he was a very disciplined player, and not one of those ones that would give coaches problems. He was a great player, and the few times we met, I found him to be a complete gentleman, a real gentleman in every sense of the word.
Yeah. He didn't go to the World Cup because Nigeria failed to qualify for the 1978 World Cup, and we heard that was largely because I think he didn't play that match. We lost to Tunisia with the Godwin Odie own goal, right? Many said his absence was one of the reasons why Nigeria failed to make it to the World Cup. But did he play at any Africa Cup of Nations tournament for Nigeria?
Yeah, that's right. I said the 1976 African Cup of Nations in Daidawa.
Okay.
He was there.
Okay.
Alongside Babatu Mohammed.
Okay.
All right. Yes, I can tell you that it was one single reason we could even beat Tunisia. If Thompson was on parade against Tunisia, we would have beaten them in the second leg in Lagos. Unfortunately, he had gone abroad, and substitutes on the day, John Wadioha and Emmanuel Obasi, they just didn't cut it.
Dudu, I'm just looking at his stats, and maybe when you talk about him being arguably the best centre forward Nigeria ever produced, people might be saying, hey, hold on, so why did he not score so many goals for the Super Eagles? But as you explained, he was largely out of the country to study abroad. And I'm looking at his stats, and I can understand why you feel he is Nigeria's greatest ever striker. I'm looking at his records. He played for Appalachian State Mountaineers. He made 49 appearances, and he scored 109 goals. Then for Montreal, that was between 1977 and 1980. Then between 1981 and 1982, he played for Montreal Manic, appeared 58 times and scored 21 goals. Then for Montreal Manic, also indoor, he played 16 times and scored 13 goals. So you can see that clearly he scored goals wherever he went. This is the kind of statistics that Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi had. Even as late as 1987 to 1988, he played for Los Angeles Lakers indoor. He appeared 66 times and scored 63 goals. If Cristiano Ronaldo posted this kind of records, we'll all be saying, yeah, this is why he's Cristiano Ronaldo. So maybe if Thompson had played more for Nigeria, he would have smashed the record of 37 goals scored by Rashid Yekini.
Yeah, that is a matter of fact, because you see, I don't have the exact figures of how many games he played for Nigeria, but I can tell you, if he played 25 games for Nigeria, he would have scored at least 18 times out of the 25. That's it. You know, in those days, we were just football fans. One didn't know was going to come up to develop to be a journalist, so we weren't keeping those records. And the number of games I saw him play, I don't think that Thompson played more than 4 or 5 matches that he didn't score for Nigeria. He was a 36 striker. And I mean, if they could run down any defense, he would come from any position, and that he could score with both feet, and he was a great header of the ball. Yes, despite kick out on the middle, so but Yekini scored this many goals. I saw the two of them play, and I know who was the better player.
All right, thank you very much, Godwin Dudu Orume, for speaking to us on Sports Fiesta.
All right, thanks.
So that was Nigeria's one and only football aficionado, Barrister Godwin Dudu Orume Esquire, the chairman of the Edo State Sports Commission, taking us down memory lane and telling us how great of a player Thompson Osei was. Sadly, because he had to pursue his academics, and then football isn't as lucrative as it is now, so maybe he will have played for some of these big clubs, but he largely played in Canada and in the United States of America, and when you look at his records, they are really impressive. For 1989 to 1991, he played for St. Louis Storm indoor, he appeared 97 times and scored 92 times. I mean, these records are extraordinary. This is the kind of stats that made Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi who they were. In fact, he played as early as 1995. Yeah, for the San Jose Grizzlies indoor. He appeared 11 times and scored 18 goals.
Yeah, this guy has always been a goal scorer.
But
it's unfortunate he did not play for some of these top.
He wasn't part
European
of the 1980 Green Eagles squad because he was abroad then. But then, at that time, Nigerian football, after we won, Nigerian football really became known internationally. And since he played even till 1995, I'm wondering, why didn't he maybe play that Green Eagles, Super Eagles squad of the early 90s, Anyway,
it's some of those things that happen. Some of the best players you see on the club level, you don't, of course, get to see them. Not like they don't score those number of goals at the national team level, but then sometimes they don't have that prolonged national team career, and that's just the case of Thompson here. Well, like we said before, we wish his family and, of course, his friends all the best. It's a difficult period for them, and I hope that God continues to grant them the fortitude to bear this irreplaceable loss at this point in time. All right, so before we get down to the deadline day transfer business that, of course, went down, let's quickly get you this one from basketball. Well, the Tigers have been drawn in Group A alongside Uganda, Mali, and Cape Verde for the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Well, the draws for the 2023 FIBA World Cup was held at the FIBA headquarters in Mainz, Switzerland on Tuesday, with the qualifiers built to tip off between November 2021 to February 2023. Well, the qualifiers will determine the 5 African teams that will participate in the FIBA World Cup. Well, the best 2 teams from each group and the 3rd place team with the best record will qualify for the World Cup to be hosted by the Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia. Well, according to the schedule released by FIBA Africa on Tuesday, Nigeria will be in action during the first window at a yet-to-be-named venue. Well, Mike Brown's side will face Cape Verde in their opening game on November 26th before taking on Mali the following day. Well, that's the final game, will be against Uganda on November 28th. That's, of course, a bit of information you should know about the Tigers, the male basketball team of Nigeria. We've got some serious business to take care of.
Having performed not exactly too well at the FIBA AfroBasket Championship, they should do well to qualify. Let's hope that this time everybody will be available so that the coach will have a bigger population to select from. So, wishing Nigeria the best. We qualified for the Olympics, so I don't think we should be having much problems qualifying for the World Cup.
I'm just hoping by then we should have had our foreign legion back, so we can have the full complement of our players going through that World Cup qualifiers for Nigeria. Okay, let's talk about the transfer business that came to an end for the top 5 leagues of Europe. For the biggest for yesterday was that Kylian Mbappe's proposed move to Real Madrid last month is off after Paris Saint-Germain failed to respond to the Spanish side's final offer. Well, Real were willing to pay £189 million, that's 220 million euros to sign Mbappe, but then walked away after PSG stalled on the deal. Now, PSG, what they did was they didn't even say anything.
Yeah, I am.
And that's so annoying.
I am honestly shocked at what Paris Saint-Germain did, because they said earlier that they will not sell Kylian Mbappe for anything less than
his actual value. They
bought him for £166 million 3 years ago, which was 180 million euros. Now, Real Madrid, the initial offer was not up to that. So we will say, okay, maybe they are holding on for that. But then Real Madrid came back and made an offer of 189 million pounds. 189 million pounds.
It's more than
it's
the money.
220 million euros. Yeah. It's more than the 166 million pounds. It's more than the 180 million euros that they bought Kylian Mbappe for. Yet, they did not even bat an eyelid. So you are wondering, what is going on? Are they this confident that he's going to sign a new deal? Because we also heard that they made a fantastic offer to Kylian Mbappe, which will have, that was the contract that they were telling him to sign, but so far he has refused signing. It will have made him the wealthiest footballer in the world, that the contract is even better than what
Neymar currently has.
Neymar and Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, what they have. They were willing to pay him over £800,000 a week, which will be about £45 million in a year. So but he refused to sign that. I'm not sure what Real Madrid will give him will be.
He's not going to be up to that.
Yeah, but maybe he feels, well, it's not about the money. I just want to go. I just want to.
I think it's about the dream for. It's about the dream for Kylian Mbappe. He just wants to play for Real Madrid. Remember, Real Madrid was the former club of his idol, Cristiano Ronaldo. So it's
exactly. No, but if I were Kylian Mbappe, I am 22 years old.
Yeah,
I can sign a 5-year deal. Collect this thing. It is 85.8 euros per minute. 1 hour he will be earning 5,151 euros per hour. This is more than some people will receive in their lifetime.
Usually I don't like this.
Per day he will be earning 123.626 per day, and then a week is going to be 865.384 euros per week. Well, and then per year he will be earning 45 million euros if he had signed that deal with Paris Saint-Germain. So I don't know who is crazier, Real Madrid for offering 189 million pounds for a player that is going to be theirs anyway. Anyway, we analyzed this yesterday, and I was saying maybe they are afraid that
anything could happen because
we are just hearing about this deal now. So who knows? Maybe Kylian Mbappe, knowing that Real Madrid didn't join Real Madrid this window, he could sit down and look at it and say, well, why don't I take this deal for 5 years?
Yeah.
And by the time I could join Real Madrid, 5 years time, I'll be 27 years old then.
He will even be within the peak
of my career. So why not sign this deal? Maybe people could convince him and tell him his dad, because his dad actually wanted him to stay, but I think it is his agent who's wanting him to join Real Madrid. So maybe that's what Real Madrid are looking at, and that's why they made this last attempt to try and get him. But Paris Saint-Germain stuck to their guns and refused. So they have, because they said 3 things. One was that they will not sell him for less than they bought him. Now they have violated that. Real Madrid came with more money than they bought him, and they refused to sell. They now said if they do not sell him, that he's going to sign a new deal. they have offered him this ridiculous contract, and he has refused to sign it. They also said that he's not going to go for free. So who knows now if maybe Kylian Mbappe, perhaps he promised them that he was not going to leave them for free, and he now says, well guys, a club offered more money than you paid for my services, and you know I wanted to go. I even told you from day one, even before I joined you from Monaco, I was telling you that I would love to go to Real Madrid one day. So everybody knows. It's not like it's something hidden. It just came up. Everybody knows that he wanted to go to Real Madrid. So why did he not sell me for that amount? So because of that, even though I promised you two that I will not go for free, now I am willing to go for free, because they can't do anything to him now legally. In January, Real Madrid can enter a pre-contract agreement with him. So basically, that's why if you watch Sky, the transfer deadline day on Sky yesterday, what they were saying basically was Real Madrid to sign Kylian Mbappe for free next season. That's what they've concluded, that this is it. Because now PSG can no longer stand in the way. They can do that this season at this moment, because his contract does not expire until next summer. So now, and as FIFA and all the football bodies, everybody agrees that once a player enters the last year of his contract, when it is 6 months, to the end of the contract, he can discuss, he can sign a contract, he can have a pre-contract agreement with any other club. So in January, Real Madrid can come and say, but maybe then Paris Saint-Germain will say, okay, bring the money. I don't know whether Real Madrid will be crazy enough to bring.
Originally, Mbappe is from Cameroon, and his mother is from Algeria as well. But then he plays for the French national team, because apparently that was where he was born. And I mean, I don't know if he's behaving like an African now, but then that's of course what we have currently for Mbappe. In terms of the amount of money on the table, I'm not sure if any African currently would forfeit that amount of money.
No, there have been Africans too that have rejected, have taken pay cuts to go to.
Yeah, but then that amount of money is on the high side.
It doesn't matter. Look, there are some players with the amount that they have received. So far, well, as we've said, though, even those that made ridiculous amounts of money in the NBA, they go broke eventually after five years. But if you plan your finances well, as we say, when they say village people.
Sometimes your own village people.
As they say about people like Alhaji Aliko Dangote and those other billionaires in Nigeria, except if God won't show himself. No kind village people go fit.
No. How do you want to report such a person?
So there is not some of these players, the amount of money that they have made. Somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, somebody like Lionel Messi, somebody like Neymar, you know. They will not even want to move for the money.
No.
Cristiano Ronaldo is even taking a pay cut. Even £480,000 a week is a pay cut for him. You know, so he could have gone elsewhere where they will even give him more. I'm sure if he had wanted the money, he could have gone to China. He could have gone elsewhere where they will even give him more money. But he chose to come to Manchester United. So there are African players too who have made enough money to say, look, I don't want to move for the money. I will stay where I am.
All right, so let's run through the other stories for deadline day. Well, Chelsea have signed midfielder Saúl Ñíguez on loan for the season from Atletico Madrid. That's a big one for Chelsea.
£5 million. They will pay £5 million to
for his loan fee
Real Madrid, to Atletico Madrid, and then they have the option to sign him after 1 year for £40 million. I think
it's not a bad deal anyway for Chelsea. And then still at Atletico, well, France forward Antoine Griezmann has made a shock return. That's
really shocking. Even Fabrizio Romano was shocked at it, because nothing was said. He did not hear anything, and bang, and transfer deadline day.
It just happened.
Well, Griezmann is returning. Honestly, with his what we've seen of his time at Barcelona, I thought it was.
And then the financial situation as well as Barcelona.
It was a mistake for him to join Barcelona in the first place.
All right, so this deal is for 1 year, and then there's also an option to extend by another year, and then an obligation to buy. This is coming from Atletico Madrid, and then we can inform you that striker, remember him, Stephen O'Day, the former MFM man, he has joined Jenny Superliga side Randers FC on a season-long loan for PSG.
Then even Barcelona too, as they are letting go Antoine Griezmann, they got Luc De Jong. He got them from Sevilla on paid loan.
Okay, well, PSG announced the signing of a teenager Portuguese defender, talking about Nuno Mendes from Sporting Lisbon on Tuesday on a season-long loan with an option to buy. Well,
for 40 million.
For Arsenal.
You've got to say fantastic business for Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
Most of the players they brought. The only guy that you say, okay, they spend money on about was it 62 million euros now that they spent? Achraf Hakimi. The others that they brought for free and now getting Nuno Mendes on loan. And next thing they can decide
financially they're becoming wiser by the day.
You see what they do. They have a terrific squad now, and that's what they are saying. Maybe their performances.
By the time maybe Lionel Messi plays for 6 months, Neymar may convince Mbappe to continue.
To stay. Maybe that's why they refused 189 million pounds.
All right, Arsenal defender Hector Bellerin has joined La Liga side Real Betis on a season-long loan on Tuesday. Bellerin was surplus to requirements at the Emirates Stadium after falling out of favour with Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta. And then we can also inform you that Czech midfielder Alex Kral has joined West Ham from Spartak Moscow on a season-long loan with an option to buy. This one also happened yesterday. For Junior Messias, he's completed his incredible rise from delivery man to the Champions League on Tuesday when he signed for AC Milan in a dream move for the former amateur footballer. We can also tell you that Keita Balde on Tuesday signed for Cagliari from Monaco in a permanent deal that gives the once highly rated forward in the Serie A. For Crystal Palace, they've completed the signing of French under-21 international Odsonne Edouard from Celtic for a reported initial fee of £15 million ahead of the Tuesday's transfer deadline. They, of course, did this one before the deadline shot yesterday. I remember this guy at Celtic, even though I don't rate him highly. But then in the Premier League, anything can happen. Players like this, still under 21, can spark can of course mean a lot in terms of the Premier League. Sometimes when you sign players like this, unknown quantities, they end up lighting the Premier League. Some of them last for 1 year in the Premier League, 2 years, 3 years. Some of them even go as far as lasting for 10 years and then being as consistent as it gets for them. All right, so that's the transfer stories from yesterday's deadline. Hopefully, if we can, we'll get you more. I mean, you know how it is now. When the transfer deadline ends, stories will break, and then the other transfer stories that will also be concluded before the end of today. So when they are, we'll inform you more on that. Okay, so let's see if we can talk about the US Open results before we leave.
Yeah, couple of games played. For the women, Bianca Andreescu, she was able to win her match over Golubic. She won that 7-5, 4-6, 7-5. For Podoroska, she lost her match to Minen, 4-6, 6-1, 3-6. For Pavlyuchenkova, she was in action and she was able to beat Risk 6-4, 6-3. This is for the women. Let's look at some of the results for the men. Taylor Fritz was in action against Alex de Minaur. He won that encounter 7-6, 6-2, 1-6, 6-4. Novak Djokovic, well, we largely expect that he will win this, but he had to give up one set in his match against Rune. He won it 6-1, then lost the second set on the tiebreak, 6-7, won the third 6-3, 6-2, and the fourth 6-1. Pospisil also played against Fognini, and Pospisil won this 6-2, 6-3, 1-6, 3-6. No, sorry. Pospisil won. He came from 2 sets down. 2-6, 3-6, 6-1, 6-3, 7-6. Tennis Sandgren was also in action, but he was beaten by Ivashka 7-6, 6-3, 6-4. These are just some of the matches that we had. Gael Monfils also in action, winning his match against Korea 6-3, 6-2, 6-2.
All right, so for the messages, let's see if we have some of them to look at before we run. We have 1 or 2 minutes to do that.
Okay, good morning, Juju men of sports. I'm so happy that Griezmann has left my darling Barcelona. Okay, Brian, please tell my board to sack Koeman. I am Barcelona. Okay, Barcelona board. sack Koeman.
All right.
So sorry for Barca, cause they are falling down. Okay. Hello, sportsmen in the studio. I am very happy for Chelsea FC for winning, for signing Saul from Atletico Madrid, Moses from Orome. Yeah.
Okay.
They
so
pulled that off. We at one point we had that
it wasn't going to be done.
Yeah,
and
that he could be joining Manchester United. But
then Chelsea got a good deal. They got a good deal. It's not a bad one in any way. Okay, so let's end it here. But then before we go, let's blow the final whistle. All right, so that's the much you can take coming from this edition of Sports Fiesta here on KU92.7 FM. Hopefully, I will be back here by 4 p.m. for the evening version of the show. Thank you so much, Sally Ibrahim, for your time on the show. And for those who sent in messages, thank you also for being a part of our world today. Like I said before, we'll be back here later in the evening to do another side of the show. Until then, I remain CJ, the Maestro, signing out.
Trying to get or receive information through all corners of the globe requires unprecedented internet service. At Wireless NG, we provide fast, reliable, and affordable unlimited broadband internet service to homes and businesses. Service is currently available across